Disclaimer. I have nothing against the Crewniverse, the writers, Rebecca Sugar, and the show itself. This is not a hate video. This is me just giving my opinion. If you think I am about to hate on a show you love so much, then please open your ears and listen before you dismiss me as another Lily Pete. I do not have the time nor energy to produce a 2-hour-long video like she did. That is what you call dedication, something that I don't have much of. Now please, sit and listen to me ramble about Steven Universe future for however long this video will be. Thank you. P.S. Screw them kids. Fuck Copa.
Hey everyone, it's me, Artie Aries, and I'm back again to vent about whatever is on my mind. Why? Because I feel like it. And for today's topic, I'm going to be talking about something that has already been talked about many times already. And I know that it's become sort of a tradition to talk about it on YouTube. And if you've seen the thumbnail, then you know exactly what I'm referring to. Yes, I am going to talk about Steven Universe. So yes, I do watch Steven Universe, and I do like the show, for the most part. The show is not my favourite, and I am not a hardcore Steven Universe fan. I just enjoy it, and I like most of the characters. To be honest, I only really started watching the show because I follow an account on Instagram that makes predominantly Steven Universe edits, and I was curious to know what this show was about, so I checked it out, and I liked it. I binged watched Season 1 and Season 2 in the span of 2 days. I am that dedicated. I then went into becoming a watcher of the show and started watching it as it aired. Or, more realistically, I waited for the episode to come online so I could watch it, because if you couldn't tell already, I'm from Britain and it doesn't air much over here. I've watched every season and the movie, so I'm caught up, and now here I am watching Steven Universe Future, which is the current season. In my honest opinion, and it is my opinion, I don't like Steven Universe Future as much as the original series. That's not to say I don't like the show. I do like it. That's why I'm watching it. And I have enjoyed most of the episodes, but I just feel like with the original series, I found a lot more enjoyment out of it because I found the plot points a lot more engaging. There were a lot more stakes, and there were continuing storylines. Steven Universe Future feels more like an epilogue to a story that's already been wrapped up. And yes, I know that's the whole point of the show, but in my opinion, I feel it's kind of a letdown because when the show was first announced, I was under the impression that it would be a season 6 to the original show and not its own thing per se. However, I don't have an issue with the Crewniverse making the decision to have the show that way. It's their creation and they have every right to do what they want with it. That's not to say I necessarily agree with the Crewniverse's decisions, because they've done a few things with the show that I don't really like that much, and I'm going to say what they are right now. Are you ready to hear them? Let's go. Number 1, the title of the show. Now, I know that sounds pretty pathetic. OMG, you don't like the name, say what? Well, maybe it's just me, but I personally don't think that Steven Universe Future flows very well, and it's not that creative. Like, Future was the best they could come up with. Like, I get it's supposed to differentiate the show from the original series, but to me it sort of sounds like those old Sonic cartoons, but because they needed to make it its own property, they add on a noun that's supposed to sound catchy, but realistically it doesn't. Like, Sonic X. What does the X even mean? Sonic Underground. Why? Just why? They were never underground. Like, I know my example sounds dumb, but my point is, why does every spin-off or sequel show have to have a single noun in the title? Like, I understand that it's about Steven being grown up and it's based after the main events of the show because it's in the future. But it's just on the nose. We need to let people know it's in the future. So we'll call it Steven Universe Future. Why? And I know this sounds petty, but I don't like how the future looks against the rest of the title. The two fonts don't match. I know. The first point is dumb, but I just have to say it. Moving on. Number 2. Steven can be really self-centered. Okay. Before anyone gets mad, hear me out. Steven has grown up. He's not that small little kid with the high-pitched voice anymore. He's taller. His voice is deeper. Dude finally hit puberty. And he's more mature. And I say that lightly because he still acts like a kid sometimes. Like Season 1 Steven. For example, Episode 2, Guidance. My girl, Amethyst, has helped the homeschool gems find jobs within Beach City. Jobs which the gems are good at. And everything is running smoothly. Until Steven, who is unhappy with it, tells my girl Amethyst that she's just doing what the diamonds used to do by putting gems into jobs that resemble what they used to do on homework. Amethyst tries to tell him that the gems are happy, but Steven shuts her down and says that because the gems aren't under the diamonds anymore, they should be able to choose what they want to do. So Amethyst unwillingly agrees. And what do you think happens next? I'll give you time to think. Alright, you want to know the answer? Everything goes to shit. The gems end up causing destruction and panic throughout Beach City because the gems are working in jobs they are unsuitable for. And do you want to know how Steven reacts? He acts surprised. Well, what do you think was going to happen, Steven? It was all going to run smoothly because you thought you were right with your decision? No! Did you really think having a gem with no flight experience fly a plane was a good idea? Really? They almost killed your uncle, Steven. So him and Amethyst have to save the day and fix the mess at Smoky Quartz. And using their new super speed, they save everyone. And after all that, the gems end up going back to what they were originally doing. And Steven admits Amethyst was right all along. And in the words of Billie Eilish, duh. But that's not the only thing. Let's talk about episode 9, Little Graduation. So, some of the gems graduate from Little Homeschool, and it's the gems that were with Lars in space. And Steven is upset that they and Lars will be going back to space, which I understand. People you've grown close to moving away is sad. Steven also finds out that Sadie and Lars aren't a thing anymore. Thank God, because they didn't like them together. And Sadie has moved on and is dating someone. And instead of being happy for her, Steven gets upset that Sadie and Lars don't have feelings for each other anymore. Like, Steven, why are you upset over other people's relationships? People break up and move on. It's life. Sadie and her band are also breaking up and Steven gets upset over it. Lars is handing over his bakery and Steven gets upset over that too because he believes that everyone is leaving him. So he takes it upon himself to try and keep everyone together by pestering Lars to talk to Sadie even though Lars doesn't want to and wants his own space. Instead of being cool with it, he compares Sadie's new relationship to her previous one with Lars on the events of Island Adventure, making the situation awkward. And to top it all off, Steven gets so tense he turns into his pink form, stops Lars with a barrier, and then more of them form into a dome, trapping everyone, including Steven, inside. Knowing that he's been bottling his emotions about this whole situation, he denies responsibility and puts the blame on Lars, stating that he and Sadie haven't talked since he arrived back on Earth. Like, why are you blaming Lars when it's your own issue, Steven? Lars lets him know that he and Sadie tried to reconnect, but they just grew apart, and that they're just happy for each other. And Steven complains that he didn't see it happen. It's not your business, Stephen. Even after hearing that, Stephen is still bottling everything inside, causing the dome to start closing in more, and everyone is trying to push it back so they don't all get suffocated. As this happens, Shep, Sadie's partner, points out that Stephen is way too concerned for his friends moving on, and Stephen denies it. Sadie tells him that people have their own life to live, and Shep says that he'll eventually suffocate them if he doesn't let them. Stephen says he'll miss them even if they move on, and they tell him they'll always be friends. And Stephen, being moved, turns back to normal, and then the dome disappears and he apologizes. It just annoyed me because I'm sick of Stephen having to learn his lesson by things going wrong, or because he didn't listen and wanted to go with what he felt was right. Like, I get it happened a lot in the earlier seasons, but that made more sense because he was young and was still learning. But now, he's grown and is more mature. He should know better. And even after everything he's been through, he would definitely know better. I just don't like how entitled he comes across sometimes. Like, if something doesn't go his way, he gets upset, and I don't like that. Hopefully this doesn't happen in later episodes, because I like Stephen as a character, and I like when characters have flaws, but when it's a constant thing, it can get frustrating, and I don't want to be frustrated with a character that I like. Next, point number 3. Where's Connie at? It's been 9 episodes of Steven Universe Future so far, and Connie still hasn't been in an episode. Like, she's been mentioned, but hasn't interacted with any of the characters yet. She's an important part of Steven's life, given that she's his best friend or lover. I'm pretty sure that the two are more than friends at this point, so... But anyways, she's had development and is part of the Crystal Gems now, so realistically, she should be more involved. As I said, it's only been 9 episodes so far, so hopefully Connie will have an episode, and probably by the time I've edited and uploaded this, an episode with her will air, so we'll see. And finally, point number 4. They really overhyped this. Okay, hear me out. When we all saw the new opening, we were excited, and when they show us a millisecond scene of what antagonists were going to be in the show, we were even more hyped. And then the trailer came out, and it was so dramatic, but that just added to the hype. However, in the actual show itself, yeah, it didn't really live up to the hype in my opinion. Bluebird, for example, we all saw a glimpse of her and were like, oh my god, Ruby and Aquamarine fused. What are they gonna do? Well, we were all excited about it, and what exactly did Bluebird do? Pull pranks on Steven. Wait, what? You mean to tell me that they hyped up this character just to have her pull pranks? No, what a letdown. The only good thing about the episode, in my personal opinion, was the ending with Greg. Other than that, I didn't like the episode. Another one is when in the trailer we saw Steven running anxiously to turn off the tape of his mother, and we all assumed, due to his reaction, it was going to be something dramatic. However, in the show, he was only running to turn off the TV because one of the other rose quartzes turned it on, and he didn't want them to see. Like, come on. They made it seem more dramatic than it actually was. I know that's what trailers are supposed to do, but they didn't need to overhype us like that. Anyways, those are my 4 points / gripes with Steven Universe Future so far. I just thought that I'd express them because I apparently have nothing better to do with my time. I just hope that when the new episodes air, they'll be much better and I'll enjoy them more because I do want the show to succeed. Feel free to agree or disagree with me, but please be respectful about it. I'm open to discussion, but I will not tolerate anything hateful. There's no need for it. I know how some of you Steven Universe fans can be when somebody has a differing opinion of the show that's not really positive and don't praise it like how most of you do. But I don't hate all of you, I just don't want to get hate for my opinion. So anyways, as I said, please be respectful. And that's all I have to say for now, so see you in the next one. Bye bye.